Hello everybody, Terminator is on the cards today. I have it drawn up, starting with black. Gonna get started. Hope everyone's well. Thank you for being here on the premiere again. There's a little bit of rain and thunder around. And I work in a tin shed. My studio's a tin shed, so if there is too much rain, there'll be only editing that I'll do. I'll pause and yeah, anyway, you won't notice it, but just it's like deafening when it really rains hard, and there is sort of patches of really hard rain coming. So I'm throwing down the challenge to you guys to have a go at this one. I've got the download pack as usual in the description. If you're already on my email list, I would have already sent you the download pack, because if you try to click the link, it only works for new subscribers. So if you're a brand new subscriber, or you've been watching and you haven't downloaded any of the packs, I'm challenging you to do this one. It's an awesome artwork, and I truly believe even if you are a beginner or early stages, you'll be able to get a decent result out of this, because there are not a lot of gradations. So if you've just followed me along right now, I've just started. I always do in a nice easy spot, like that's 100% and close. I'm about 1 centimetre off the page. So it's all going to be that. So it's going to be done in black and white, and then transparent orange over the top to get it all. So you don't have to worry about blue shifts. You just got to get all the shapes in, and I've got all this nice clear line drawing. It's actually, I made this one on AI and I don't like it, so I'm going to make a new one. So the download's going to have a better one for you guys. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about blue shifts, because you'll be able to put the white over top of the black, because the orange is just going to fix everything. Okay, so you just need to follow along. I'm going to do it over a few weeks. I think we're only going to spend an hour today, and there's no way knowing I'll finish it in an hour, and that's sort of not the point. I'd rather take my time. Well, it's still going to be fast, but I'm going to take my time a bit, so you guys get to see it a little bit more clearly. This line drawing is really bad. I really wish I had made it. I was just trying to cut corners and go, hey, we'll see how it'll do. And it's done some pretty cool things. But what was interesting is when I got on Photoshop and put it over the top of the photo, it was all a little bit out. So even though it redrew it and it's very close, but now that I'm actually painting it, I'm seeing bits and pieces that it actually hasn't even put in. So I'm just going to have to use my observation skills to do that. But anyway, and I'm talking to you guys that are always here, that I know airbrush, and you're all at different levels. Here's the rule, right? If you are close, you are painting 100%. So you're not trying to paint close, let me find a spot, close and really lightly. Right, like that. You're not trying to do that. You're just close and 100%. This is why I believe, even though it is an advanced artwork, it's doable for a beginner if you just follow my steps. Follow the video. So here there's a lot of different sort of shapes. I'm just sort of lacking it out roughly, and I'll create those shapes with the white. That's the other thing with this artwork. It's pretty forgiving as far as it's always going to look like. That's why I didn't even spot how bad some of these little shapes were missing and stuff on the AI version of the line drawing. It won't matter. It still looks like the Terminator Endoskeleton, right? No matter what. So, like I said, your line drawing is going to be better than mine, because I'm going to fix this up. in the download pack. So just roughly just laying it down, solid shapes through here. I'm leaving a little bit of gaps just to show me roughly where I'm going to put the white in later, but I'm going to make these shapes with the white afterwards. But right now everything's at about 1 centimetre. And here, if I hit the line there pretty well, if you miss it, don't worry about it. I'm going to be able to fix it with the white, because you don't need to worry about blue shifts at all. So really, when you think about it, you got, let's see, a black line anywhere. Say this black line here, right? It's quite thick and close, and I'm 100%. I've got the white, heaps of white each side to be able to tidy that up. So don't get caught up in trying to get anything perfect first up, because I'm not right now, okay? These lines weren't even in the drawing at all, so I'm just sort of making it up a bit. Anyway, I hope all is well with everybody. Thanks again for being here. I'm actually re-recording the whole lot. Well, I might not finish it, but it's going to be an hour only today, which I better put the timer on, eh? We've been going for about 5 minutes, so I'll say 55 minutes. Yeah, 55 minutes from now, that'll do. So yeah, well, the same. I'm gonna keep painting and recording today, but we'll get it in hour blocks each week. So that's going to save me having to rush every week to try and get something done, which is not ideal. And I'll get to sit there and watch, and then that way, when it's spread over that time, you guys, if anyone takes me up on the challenge, then you can email me progress shots in between, and we can chat about it in the chat. Alright. There's all these little bits, little scratches and bumps and stuff here. I'm just doing dots. Roughly, we'll tidy them up later. It's a really cool picture because as I got to here, there's some focal variation. So the jaw is a little bit blurrier than here, sort of like it's focused right there. It gets a little bit blurrier there, a little bit blurrier at the top, a little bit blurry on this side, so it sort of blends there. And then the shoulders and stuff are even blurrier again. So there's a bit of depth to it, even though there's not really a background on there. So yeah, it's a cool image for that reason. Yeah, I don't want to be rushing it right for you guys, but at the same time, there's a thunder. At the same time, I don't want you wasting too much time at this stage. The next stage is when it's really going to be able to adjust and make it more accurate. It's sort of a little bit intimidating because there's so many little black shapes and stuff, but like I said, the line drawing you get was going to be better than this one, so that'll help. Right here, it's very sharp here, and this is when it starts to get softer, so I can just lift a bit higher up the top here. Again, we can adjust that as we go, but I was actually surprised how well the AI drew this, to be honest. I tested on another one and then it totally stuffed it up, but anyway, I'm not going to use it again because it's not as accurate as I wanted it. What really threw me is when I put it on top of the other one and it didn't line up the same. It's like, oh, that's sort of not what I want. I like them to be exact. It's how I make the one-to-one references that I sometimes do. So I can put that over top and make it work. This type of artwork I wouldn't really bother with trying to make the one-to-ones, because you don't have to get it that accurate, because there's so many little shapes and stuff in it. What was cool though, and I'm sure it'll get better over time, or maybe my prompt writing would be better, I told it to do where it's analyze the focus too, so where it's really sharp to do the solid lines, and where it's out of focus to do dash dotted lines, which is how I draw up anyway. So it actually did that pretty well, because it analysed that the background was all much more out of focus, and it did the dashed lines. But on my ones will be better. But anyway, it's pretty amazing. A bit of an AI fan, in case you didn't know. Like this is just made up crap. Oh no, there's a little bit in there. I'll have to make it up a bit here. But again, it doesn't really matter. Who's going to know how many circles and bumps and screws and stuff are in the head of an endoskeleton, right? It doesn't matter. And the other thing, we're going to end up making it darker anyway. So I'm putting in the parts that I know are definitely 100% black. A little bit of slightly light. Oh no, there isn't. It's all 100% so far. But then I'm going to darken it all, so I've got something to put the white on top of. Oh, I've got to tell you about my course, guys. Well, maybe next time. No, I've said it now, so I might as well. So I ran a beta test group, which some of them guys are here. I say it most weeks, but unbelievable results. I'm so excited, and I'm ready. If you're on my email list, you will get an email soon, or you might have already got it, because I'm asking for a group now, one more test before I properly release it. I'll probably release it next year, but right now I'm doing one more test. So the course works. That's what the test was, and these guys had weekly Zoom meetings for the last couple of months. What I'm doing now with the next test is actually not having the Zoom meetings. We might do them later, depends how many are there. But what I want to test is the email support component. So these guys are going to get the course at the normal price, or offered the course at the normal price, with the email access completely free and for longer than what it normally will be. So just as I test it out. And like I said, I'll probably end up throwing in a Zoom session or two just to just along the way. But anyway, so cool. Actually, allow me to indulge for 1 second. I will show you. I've got my finished project that we do teach in the course. I've got it here, and I'll show you. It's called Claire, the portrait, and we first do it's a bit more out of focus. It is a beginner level, believe it or not, and then in the end we do this one, which is the HD version. Let me just zoom it out a bit. No, I can't zoom it out. I'm far enough back already. All right, so that's it. Shoulder to there. So that's the HD version, that's the extension project. So we do it in A4 sections along the way in the more blurry component. Anyway, that's what it ends up with. And like, that was the extension project that I come up with after to add more value to the course, and the guys absolutely blow me away because they're doing an amazing job. They're getting to that same level, and they're beginners, right? Look, I'm just so stoked. Anyway, if you're on my email list, which you will be if you get this download, if you've got a previous one, you'll hear all about it soon if you haven't already. Yeah, so I'm looking for just a handful of people to test the course one more time with the email support component. So that's this week. By the time next week when we do the rest of this, continue on with this Terminator, I hopefully will have it launched. Hopefully I've got it closed by then. I've got enough people, but if not, we'll see. We go. Yeah, in the day, if I only get one person, I'll still do it. But ideally, we'll get a 5 to 10 would be great. Testing on how well my email supporting will be versus the regular Zoom. We had email as well, so we had it once a week Zoom, but we also had emails in between. And I've also started a Facebook group for students only. So unless you're a student, you don't get the invite. Just putting a few dots here, a few scuff marks on it, roughly. So yeah, that's enough about that. But anyway, it's very exciting. All right, so here, again, this is where it starts to get a little bit more out of focus. I'm super sharp here, about 1 centimetre. Here I'm at 2. It just gets a bit blurrier. Now, if you are doing this, you don't even need to be that accurate at this stage as I am at this point. I just can't help it. I've been doing it a long time and I'm accurate. Here is like a light black line, right? But why even bother? I'm just doing the dark. Because the rule is, when I'm close, which it all is so far, I'm doing it 100%, not trying to do it dark. No, I'm not trying to do it close and light. Perfect example, this part is nowhere near that dark, but I just wanted it, because I'm close, I need to do that. I want the shape right first, and there's a bit of a blend off, a slight blend off of it, so I can lift there. And that'll be the same, the whole outside edge, we can adjust that later with the white. Like this outer edge is hardly any difference between where the background goes and the skull starts. But we'll just do it slightly darker on the skull side, so I'm just going to go in close and 100%. Just the focus has changed, right? So it's a little bit softer than that. It starts getting a little bit sharper as we get closer here. All sort of squarish shape. The only way you might struggle, if you haven't got the airbrush control yet, to airbrush lines at close range without getting spiders and stuff. So that's just going to take practice to do that. But I think I'll do what I normally do. I'm just going to stick through here and I'll rework that section so you know sort of the process. We're just black and white. I'm not going to do colour yet. I'll just do colour at the end. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I'll just stick to here to here for now. Even though I went up there, but we'll see how much time I got, whether I start going up there as well. Sort of just dots and dashes a little bit out of focus through here as well. Just off and on the trigger there, just a little bit of texture. There's sort of scuff marks across in here, so I'm just going to do these lines like so. Again, I'm close, so I'm not trying to do it lightly. We will tidy these up later. Let's get a bit of a texture thing. Now, this does go into my zone. I'll do this bit. I'm using Createx Illustration as usual. This is the transparent black in the range with 4021 reducer, and using my Iwata airbrush that I always forget the name of, HP model, siphon fed. I can hear rain coming. I'm going to leave it on. Look, I'll keep recording when there's a little bit of rain, just if it gets really bad. I'll pause. Alright, this is nothing like the texture, just a bit of rough scuff marks texturing. Again, roughly at this point. Just give that. I'm stopping there because that's as far as I said I'll go. Notice I always start in the 100% dark areas and then do anything else afterwards. Now most of this is 100% dark at this point. Some of them are skinnier than others, but there's just these big blob black shapes. Again, another reason why it's actually easier than it looks, and easier than it looks, but still impressive is the word. I got distracted, my phone went off. It's a very impressive artwork. Man, this thing scared the crap out of me when I was 10 years old or whatever, and Terminator 1, the original one. Arnold Schwarzenegger, but at the end of it, he got completely burnt and it became just this skeleton walking around. Scary, man. This is a result of the line drawing not being too good. I had to sort of adjust the shape a little bit. Again, there's some sort of scuff marks going like that. I'm doing it fast, so sort of indicate that you don't need to spend too much time doing it at this point, but you can definitely go slower than me. Now, I mean, the thing is, if these sort of texture things, if you don't have the ability to do it, just ignore them. It'll still look cool. My wife and daughter are away for the weekend, and she just sent me a text message, thanks for vacuuming, because I put the robot vacuum on and she got the same notification I did that it's finished. Or stuck, I didn't read it. Sometimes it tells me it's broken. There we go, 38 minutes to go. Alright, I'm going to go through here, which is actually good because here it gets extra blurry. So I'm going to do those here now. Much higher, 4 or 5 centimeters. This is when it'll be tricky, like even my line drawing is going to show more detail than you're actually going to put in, but this has got way more than is needed because AI did it. Much higher, there's like 7, almost 10 centimeters here for this back one. And it's sort of like a double line, you know. Again, the white's really going to make this go well. All right, I'll just get this edge here done. This is the step where, so this side's sharp, but this side's blurry. I'm going to need to sharp edge that side, and it's blurry on this side. Very cool image. Just doing some sort of squiggly lines, even the spider's almost there, doesn't matter. Alright, we'll do the bottom of this nose. Just a black circle there. Alright, that'll do. Now, here's the most important part. We're going to put white in, and it's quite bright. It's actually I'm glancing at my monitor on the side here, and it looks really cool. But need to darken it all, just so you got something for the white to come up against. Oh, what? 40%. All right, switch to white. Now, I do a lot with the white, I must say. So your airbrush needs to be working well. You need to have it reduced well. White's one of those ones where you tend to want to over reduce it so it flows well, because it's a terrible colour, but then it doesn't cover as well. So from memory, my last time, still the same ink as last time, I felt like it was a little bit too thin. And I think I've actually thickened it up a little bit, which is good. Now, overspray goes everywhere, doesn't matter. We're just about going in, so find an edge that looks bright, looks white, and that's where we'll start. Nice and close as the thunder rolls in. Right, so it's a little bit too thin. Sort of like one of those things. I think you'd rather have it more on the thin side and then double coat it, take your time, than too thick and clogging up your airbrush. That's my opinion. But having said that, I really want to just go thicken this up a little bit. Find the edges. And again, actually, even making it a bit darker will help. If you've got white a little bit thinner, and that's not dark enough, you're not going to see it. So you're going to want to pull the trigger back further and get spiders and stuff. I'm just finding the edge of these shapes. And this is what I'm talking about. So this texture stuff that I had here before, and just fog over it. Now, lifting high, when I'm doing it light, I can go higher. Don't worry about the overspray. And there you go. So now I've got the hint of those scuff marks and stuff. And I can go in and I can brighten some of it up with a few little lines here and there. But that looks really cool. Not exactly like that, but it'll do. We'll go through the black again later anyway, but this is a bit more of a sort of scuff scrape, so I'm sort of a bit of a wobbly dotted line off and on a little bit. That'll do. It's pretty close to 100% black in there. Same deal, off and on, off and on. Now, I had this black line in a pretty good spot, but this is when you can choose to tidy up that black line here and there on each side of it. Right, so I can tidy up that black line. Doesn't matter, even though that's black up to it, it like disappears. I'll put the black over top after. Anyway, I hope I'm making sense. I'm just talking to myself again as usual. But you can see how you can just really define that line. There's a little bit of overspray in there, that's alright, we'll fix it up. It's even blowing out a little bit on me here and there. It's a little bit thin, like I said, but close and building up 100. It's like, the camera probably not picking it up, but I'm doing like little mini spiders at the minute because it's thin. So don't worry, it'll be fine. Here's the point when I doubt myself. Oh, maybe it isn't as easy as I think. But no, I agree. I think you can do it. What's it hurt, guys? You're going to have, well, the other thing I'm going to have on the download pack is a different size. I've printed this on A3. I'm going to have A3 size, but it'll be in 2 A4 sections, so you can stick them together and trace it. But I'm also going to make A2, is that right? Yeah, A2, and I'll have it broken up in 4 A4 sections, so you can tape all 4 together and then trace it out on a bigger A2 bit of paper, or stick it on a window and trace it that way. Bigger is easier. And if you're not sure about it, you can just take one of those sections and just do this section or whatever. Maybe I'll do that about, maybe I'll add, that's what I'll do. I'll add like just there. It's got a little bit of the out of focus part and the eye on an A4, but it will be the equivalent of an A1 size whole picture. So that'd be a good practice. There'll be heaps to do. If you get that download, there'll be heaps to do, keep you busy for a long time. Right, and yes, you end up on my email list, and all I do is every week pretty much say, here's my video this week. And then every now and then, like this week, I need some testers for my course. Who wants to have a go? Here's the link. Blah, blah, blah. Special price. Blah, blah, blah. That's all. So that is the equivalent of what I did here. There's some sort of scuff marks in the black. So I just did it with a white, and I will block most of that out with the black afterwards. But same as that. Same as I did here. Wipe most of it out. I'll do that there. Okay, here comes the thunder and the rain. Sort of like this bit sort of triangle or squarish shape. 2 triangles almost here. And then I can lift and just fold in between, so I want to leave some of that sort of texture sort of feeling in there. It's nothing like the picture, but it still looks cool on its own, so don't worry. Okay, so this is one that might be a bit tricky for beginners. It's like a highlight. It's a line, but you've got the black each side to tidy it up. So do your best. I'm about 1 centimetre. And it takes a couple of coats because it's pretty thin white. And there's a sort of like a double line there. I'm going to try it. If I don't get it, I'm not going to bother. Won't matter. Just try my best. I'll black it out later if it's no good. And then there's this edge here. So there's a few little tight white lines here. You could skip that middle one if you wanted and just have the 2. They're hard because there's no sort of blends off them, especially in that part. On this side, as it gets to this side of it, there is a sort of solid shape beyond, so it makes it a little bit easier. You can go up to it. So following this picture, I've actually got a few commissions, a couple of commissions lined up, so I'm actually going to record those two, so something a bit different. I'm going to do Marlon Brando, and I think it might be a religious one, like Jesus or something. Mother Mary, I did that once before, so... And they're pre-cut out, so there's no backgrounds at all. They're cut out on aluminium composite panel. Alright, I'm going to check the radar because I can hear the drops are getting bigger. Might be a time for pause. Yep, here it comes. Pause. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we are back. It was a nanosecond for you guys, but it poured for 15 minutes for me, and it was so loud. So yeah, continuing on into white. It's gonna. Check the radar. There's another downpour coming. I'm hoping we've got 25 minutes to go. I'm hoping that I'll get it done before it comes again. You see, I'm still just like picking out edges. Picking out edges now, hitting the centre's quite bright, so I'll just lift higher there, and it'll create that sort of glow as well, which we'll see how that goes. And you probably can't tell, but this is a lot unlike the actual picture. I'm just sort of making bits up and sort of roughly show me what's meant to be there, and good enough, right? Some of that's due to the poor line drawing. Here's a good example, which you can do with both the white and the black. So there I just did a line. It's a line just on its own with black each side of it. So I'm happy enough with that line that I just did, but if I wasn't, it's really easy to come back with the black and just tidy it up. It's the same as what happens in the other areas when it's a black on about this white each side of it. You need to be able to see that, and that's the real advantage about it. Use layers of multiple colours, you don't have to try and hit that first go. Again, this is what I keep telling myself, you should be able to do it no matter what your level. I mean, as long as you can airbrush lines. But I guess what I'm saying, it's forgiving because we don't worry about blue shift or anything, and there's not many gradations. It's just solid black shapes. There's just lots of them, that's all. Black and white shapes, I should say. And they don't need to be perfect to still look like it. As long as they're roughly like it, it'll look good. Okay, you might stick around this side. This side's much brighter. And see, I'll put these rough textures and bumps and little whatever they are, bullet holes or whatever. They won't be bullet holes, whatever they are. I can use the white and go around them. If I wipe them out and put them back in, it doesn't matter. But still just sort of, it's a very textured sort of area here, so I'm just doing like overlapping lines rather than filling it up, so I'm staying close, I'm just doing some cross hatching and just sort of overlapping lines just to give you that sort of textured feel in there. Always looking for the bright edge and coming off it. Might even, because I haven't actually made my line drawing yet. Like I said, I'm trusting the AI's version. Might even simplify the line drawing a little bit, make life a little bit easier for you. In here is really black, but there's a bit of hint, so I'm just going in a few lines, and when I black them out, it'll look a little bit more real. It's a chrome bloody skeleton, but you know what I mean. So real. I hope this is something you guys enjoy. I know, like, your regulars, they've been showing up every week, and I do appreciate that and enjoying whatever I do. Doesn't matter, but I guess I'm sort of experimenting with different sort of images and not styles, sort of what I'm doing. So, like, this is, whether the Halloween one last week was one shot, start to finish in one go. This is going to go over a few weeks, and I'm encouraging you to have a go. I do have, and it was, now I can't remember if it was Raymond or not, someone had a shot at my eye, one of my older videos of the eye demonstration, and I've got that saved. I am going to go over his one. One of my favourite ideas I came up with, and it didn't get any views and whatever, but was the student helper, like helping. So you send in your picture, you got stuck on it or whatever, and I printed it off and painted on top of his one. So I'm going to do that again with that eye. And he was the guy, whoever, I think it was Raymond, sorry if it wasn't, was happy for me to do it. So I'm looking forward to that. But it didn't get much attention, but I thought it was a great idea. Something if you're doing picture yourself and you get sort of stuck, how cool would it be to have someone that knows what they're doing? But I guess some people, you can't offer free advice really, because unless they really specifically want it, because people get offended, and that's not my intention. I see stuff all the time. I go, oh, I know how I can make that better, and you just got to sort of tiptoe around that a little bit. Or more to the point, I see where people are struggling with, and it's like, oh, I can really help you, but you need to ask. My intention is to help as many people as possible. In all honesty, you're watching this on YouTube now, obviously. This is a hot take. There is no one who is an expert that's on YouTube that learnt their expertise from YouTube. I don't think there's anyone that's just solely watched YouTube and become expert level. You need guidance. You need it laid out for you. That's why I don't hold anything back. I just exactly what and I give away free stuff all the time, because why? Because I want to help people, but you're not going to really learn properly. You're not going to, like that image I showed you before from my course, you would never be able to do that just from watching me paint it on YouTube. You need my lessons, and man, I'll tell you, I'll show you next week. One of my students, I'll find out if he's happy for me to show it, not next week, or later on. I won't show it next week because I'm recording next week as soon as I finish this one. But there's no way known they could do it without just from watching me on YouTube. So this is, I think you'll have a decent shot of getting something good, which is why I'm offering. It's what I was really thinking about when I was looking for an image, was something that looks really cool, that I think a lot of people will be able to do because it's actually a little bit easier than what it looks. It'll be really impressive. I hope this is it, but I don't think anything's going to substitute or be comparable to what I teach in the course, because it's more laid out. It's step by step, and then it's not just step by step. It's beyond that. It's the knowledge that goes behind it, why we're doing each step, and it's just stuff that you just can't deliver on YouTube that way. And then the extra guidance on top of that is obviously takes you to the next level when you're stuck. Watching YouTube, you haven't got anyone coaching you through it or giving you assessment or feedback. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. You see, it's quite rough. You have a look, like it looks really good on the thing. I'm sure it looks good on the thing, but it looks really good on the thing. But looks good on the monitor. I'm sure it looks great on the computer screens or tablet, wherever you're watching it. But it's quite rough.